problems lie ahead, dealing with the sexual abuse crisis, corruption, a decline in membership, and reforming the Vatican.
The fact that he talked about being the Bishop of Rome, I think, really resonated with the people here.
The people here, now his people, as 1.2 billion Catholics look to their new pope for answers and inspiration. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Rome.
And it is a time of learning for all Catholics all around the world during this historic transition. Theology class at Catholic Memorial started with a look at the front page of today's Journal Sentinel. They are learning more about Pope Francis, who he is, and why he chose this particular name.
And then they'll just want to know what being a Latin American pope will mean to the church in the United States, which is a growing Hispanic population, but the church in the world.
Students say they are thrilled to be in class during this exciting time.
Closing arguments have wrapped up in the trial of a father accused of starving and torturing his teenage daughter. Chad Critton is accused of locking her in the basement and denying her food. Critton's wife is also facing 6 felonies. The girl's stepbrother has been accused of sexually assaulting her. The 2 men accused of setting fire to the El Rey family market appeared in court today. Miguel Rubio and Alexander Karsten were both scheduled for a status conference. The 2 teenagers have pleaded not guilty to arson charges. Police tell us surveillance video shows the teens on the scene the night of the fire. They will both be in court next week. Brookfield police are searching for the man who robbed a Subway restaurant late last night. He got away with cash after showing a handgun. Police say he's a white man, mid-20s to 30s. He was about 5'6", 140 pounds, and wearing all black. If you have any information, you should contact police.
And police gearing up for St. Paddy's Day. Saturday, departments across the area will be holding roll call in the street. Their message, don't drink and drive and be responsible. For those who do indulge, Sunday, Milwaukee County buses will offer free rides starting 6 o'clock St. Paddy's night. Weather time now. It was a warm St. Paddy's Day weekend. 1 year ago today, look at these people. Shorts, T-shirts. You know why? Because it was a record high temperature of 78 degrees. We're going downhill this week in the temperature department, sorry to say.
I don't need 78. I'd take 40. Maybe 45 if I were pushing it.
Feel good, wouldn't
it? Be fine. I don't know.
You know what, Brian? It kind of felt good for a minute today, but then it seems to be cooling off a little bit.
A minute's about right. I was going to give you 45 seconds, but okay, I'll take a minute.
You give me a minute? All right.
I take 50 degrees. 50 right now after this last 6 weeks would be phenomenal. 78 might be a little hot. Because I know some of you would complain. I know you would like, oh, it's so hot outside. A little better this, you know it would happen. It's getting a little better this afternoon, so maybe we're going to get a minute and a half of nice weather today. It was cloudy. The snow stayed away from us. The rain stayed away just by a couple of miles to the west. But we are starting to see more sunshine throughout the afternoon after a sunny start. 34 degrees is the temp. That's it. We're about 8 degrees below normal and southwesterly winds at around 12. There was that little disturbance in the atmosphere. It went through Madison, even Walworth, Racine, and Kenosha County saw a few flurries. But for us, we just had the cloud cover here in Milwaukee, Waukesha, and points to the north. Otherwise, it's just been a, kind of a cloudy, cool day. 30 in Waukesha. Nowhere even close to that 78 of last year. 34 in West Bend, also in Port Washington and Racine. The winds are between 5 and 15 out of the southwest, so at least a warmer direction, and that's going to help keep our temps up overnight tonight. We're not going to drop into the teens or the single digits like we've had the past couple of nights. Currently, our wind chills are in the 20s, and those would be our lows for tonight. So a warmer night, relatively speaking. Partly cloudy by 7 o'clock and 34, and still light outside. 10 o'clock for some reason doesn't want to show up. It must be scared. And by morning, flurries, yes, flurries, and 26. There's a chance for rain and some light snow tomorrow evening. We'll talk about that and give you that weekend forecast coming up. Maybe there's a 78 somewhere in the 7 day.
In the 7 month. Okay, Brian, thanks. Well, more local news. Some scary moments for a family on the north side after a natural gas leak. It happened this morning at a home on 66th near Ruby. One person had to be revived after they were overcome by the fumes. No word on what caused that leak. And watch out for more construction on I-94 just south of the airport. Crews worked overnight to demolish the Rawson Avenue Bridge. Full freeway closures will be in effect again tonight and tomorrow. You can use 27th Street to get around the mess. And parts of a South Side road remain blocked off because of a pretty big sinkhole. This is near 12th and Cleveland. Neighbors in the area tell us this isn't the first hole there. They filed several complaints. We left a message for the Department of Public Works about this problem, but we have yet to hear back.
Wisconsin's population is growing. A new report from the U.S. Census Bureau shows 39,000 more residents since 2010. About 40% of that growth was in Dane County. 1% was in Milwaukee County. Population declined in about half of Wisconsin's counties. Coming up on Live at 4, almost all expectant mothers experience those cravings during pregnancy.
Now, the foods celebrities who are expecting say they have to get their hands on.
But first at 3, viewers sound off about the new Pope. Head over to Antigua Restaurant in West Dallas for authentic dining and drinks. You can get $25 worth of eats for only $12.50. Go to our website for details, TMJ4.com.
Spring in Wisconsin can look a lot like winter. But all this snow will melt eventually. And if we get more, or if it sticks around a bit longer than we'd like, one man will be there to help us through it all, every step of the way.
We're not out of the woods yet.
Chief Forecaster John Milan and Storm Team 4 on your side, no matter what the weather.
There are lots of bad drivers out there. They speed. They're distracted by their cell phone. They don't obey the rules of the road. If you've been injured in an auto accident, call Cannon & Dunphy. It won't cost you any more to hire great lawyers.
This is me, and this is my Marvin.
Marvin windows and doors mean more to the people that choose them because they do more for their homes than any other window. Only Marvin combines a century of industry-leading design innovation with unmatched quality, durability, and energy efficiency for exceptional value. Which Marvin will be your Marvin?
Find the perfect window solution for your project at your Marvin Windows and Doors retailer, Blifford Lumber and Hardware, today.
This weekend on Alliant Energy's Powerhouse.
We're going green. Find out if those products that claim to be green really are.
Plus, we'll show you how homeowners are designing and building green homes.
We'll also talk to a homeowner living in a green home and find out why they're committed to that lifestyle.
And sustainable communities. See how entire communities are living green, and we'll give you a few tips to make your neighborhood a little greener.
Join us this weekend for Alliant Energy's Powerhouse.
The Rosen Automotive family. Great cars, great people. Rosen Kia with total package. Rebates. 2013 Kia Optima, $179 a month and no down payment. 2013 Kia Soul, $139 a month. Rosen, the automotive family you've been looking for, where great cars and great people come together.
Rosen, Rosen, Rosen. Rosen, Rosen, Rosen. Rosen.
Find your look at VisionWorks. Buy one pair of glasses, get one free. Any frames, any lenses. Or a single vision pair is just $49.95. Find more than a pair of glasses. Find a better you. VisionWorks.
Join us for New Home Building Today. You'll learn how Kingsway homes are designed and see how they're constructed. Sunday morning at 10:30 on today's TMJ4.
Sound off time now. Every day on Live at 3, we tackle one of the day's big issues, and Tracy Johnson from Tempo Milwaukee is filling in for Jeff Wagner today.
And today is Pope Francis's first full day on the job, and already he is turning heads for his unique style of leadership. Last night, after greeting the crowd, a spokesman says he skipped the papal car, took the bus, went back to his hotel to pick up his own bags and pay his bill. Many are not surprised by this. The sound-off question today is, what do you think of the choice of new pope? This is along the lines of what everybody said he did in Argentina. Did not have the chauffeur, lived in an apartment instead of the mansion.
Yeah, he's a Jesuit.
He's a man of the poor.
Yeah, he's a Jesuit. And I really think after thinking about all the speculation and all the things we talked about, you know, is this going to be a progressive pope? Is it going to be a conservative pope? This really makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, because we're changing the spotlight from all of the issues that were surrounding the controversy and the sex abuse, getting back to the roots of the Catholic Church. I think it was a really wise choice. I'm not sure if it was thought about in that regard, but he's a servant of the people, and I think that's really going to shift the focus and focus on the positives.
All right, let's hear. So we've got Ed in West Dallas, who's first up.
What a disaster. I wish people would get beyond very superficial things and look at the specifics. This man is a liturgical modernist, he certainly doesn't understand that the root cause of all the problems in the church is the absolute devastation of the Mass of Pius V, the Latin Mass, and until we restore that, we're just going to be spinning our wheels in the church.
I think going back to what you were saying earlier, Tracy, about, after he was elected Pope, he went back, paid his own bill. Do you think he's going to change the way, kind of the Pope is perceived and how, he goes about business more than we've seen really in, I think, any of our lives?
Yeah, I mean, you look at him, he came out and he had a wooden cross on instead of the jeweled cross. But I think the comments, people, especially in America, are going to continue to focus on the issues and the scandal. And I think right now, Pope Francis has the opportunity to surround himself with people that can handle that and then be the visionary and be the ambassador for the Catholic Church. I think that Catholics around the world are really going to look at this as an opportunity to shift the focus.
Well, Kathy and Cudahy is going to weigh in now.
I was disappointed that a younger Pope was not chosen.
A lot of people, though, see that as a balance. He is 76, but they feel that this is going to be a new type of leadership because of the choice and because of the way he lives his life and, as you said, shifting the focus. So there are a lot of people who are excited about it to see where this goes, and they do think that the Cardinals chose new leadership, just not in the way a lot of people predicted it would happen with a younger Pope. And to mention, he's also the first from the Americas.
And he does a lot of work with young people. He's known for that. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting back to the roots of the Catholic Church, clothing the naked, feeding the hungry, giving medicine to the poor. I mean, every picture we see of this man shows that. I think it's interesting too to look at the fun side of him because they're focusing on his love for soccer. They're focusing on the fact that he tangos. I think it's neat. I mean, he really is one of the people, but with a really, really conservative and Catholic bent to him.
All right,
Tracy, thanks.
Yep. Let's turn our attention to weather now and take a live look from our tower cam at Mitchell International Airport. A clear day out there for the most part, but it is another cold one, folks. And it looks like it's only going to get worse, right, Brian?
It's a little warmer than what we've seen, but still in the cold category.
Yeah. By a degree. Yeah, it's cold. I missed yesterday's sun. I mean, we had some clouds today because of this. We were supposed to see a little bit of snow and rain today, but it stayed just to the west of us, which I don't think anybody's complaining about. It has now moved into northern Illinois as some snow showers into the southwest of Chicago. We had the clouds midday after a sunny start to the day, and now we're starting to see a little bit more sun this afternoon. All focus now on this next front coming in from the north with a low pressure system to the west. That will be our next weather maker by as early as tomorrow morning. Things are moving pretty fast. To the graphics we'll go, and this is what it sets up like. You will see that rain-snow mix here in the southern third of the state. Snow accumulation-wise, less than an inch of accumulation, mainly tomorrow evening and tomorrow night. But if you are traveling in the state, Wausau to Green Bay, up toward the Northwoods, could pick up as much as 2 to 5 inches of snow from this storm system. So this is mainly a snow event for the northern half of the state. Some flurries in the morning, rain during the day, and then some light snow tomorrow evening with less than an inch of accumulation. Could see 1 to 2 inches of snow up around Fond du Lac and Sheboygan, but that's about it. For the weekend, then, behind that storm system, it gets cold with temperatures right around 30 degrees. That's about 10 to 12 degrees below normal. And then another storm system quickly rolling out of the Rockies will be here by Monday. Outside, not as sunny as it was yesterday in Port Washington, but the clouds are beginning to thin out. And you're seeing a little bit of sunshine. 34 degrees with a light southwesterly wind at 5. It is 34 also in Milwaukee and Racine. A little bit cooler. Waukesha to Burlington to Lake Geneva, and also Beaver Dam checking in at 30 degrees. The winds are out of the south-southwest between 5 and 15 miles per hour. So the wind really not that much of an issue, but wind chills continue to be in the mid-20s. That's what our actual lows will be tonight. Not quite as chilly as it has been as the clouds stick around and act as a blanket, and we'll have a light westerly breeze. Tomorrow, a light wind out of the northeast. Our highs getting a little bit closer to where they should be this time of the year. We're still going to be in the upper 30s for the most part. This is where you'll see the best chance of a wintry mix throughout the day. Rain in the afternoon here and to the south with highs near 40 degrees. And then tomorrow evening, we'll see those temps drop enough to see a little bit of light snow. As I mentioned, most of southeastern Wisconsin, less than an inch of accumulation. This will start rolling in here overnight tonight. Flurries in the morning, rain throughout the afternoon, and that light snow tomorrow evening. And then we'll keep the flurries in the forecast throughout the day on Saturday. And as I mentioned, by Monday, another storm system rolling through, severe weather outbreak to the south, and we could see a wintry mix here in southeastern Wisconsin. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Tonight, 26 degrees, mostly cloudy and cool. Tomorrow, cloudy, morning flurries, afternoon rain and snow, and mainly just rain to the south of Milwaukee. Here's your 7-day forecast. Shows showing 31 on Saturday with flurries, 32 on Sunday. Monday, that rain-snow mix, and then windy and cold on Tuesday. Oh, and there's a 40 by next Thursday. All right. No 78 like a year ago today, but...
At least you got one on there.
Yeah. Good job, Brian. Thanks. And now to JS on air, and something I never thought I'd say on television. A mom from the city of Thorpe's Nutty Gouda has been crowned the U.S. champion of cheese.
It could have a big economic impact for her small town as well. We're joined by Karen Herzog with the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Karen, I don't know how this woman has time to make cheese, let alone brush her teeth. She has 5 children under the age of 7. I just have to bow down to her.
I know, and at 8 o'clock this morning, she dropped her kids off at school, and this was after being up in Green Bay till 1:30 in the morning, so she is pretty amazing. I met her a few years ago when she had only been making cheese for about 3 or 4 years. She hasn't been at it this long, but she grew up in Holland, and she absolutely loved her native Gouda, and when she moved to Wisconsin with her husband, she really missed her Gouda from Holland, and so every time she had family visits, she would say, pack some in your suitcase and bring it along, and they just couldn't pack enough Gouda to make her happy, so she decided to make her own.
Okay, so obviously it's some pretty good cheese that she's made here, but we're talking about the economic impact too. Can we talk a little bit more about how this gal's cheese is going to make a difference?
Well, interestingly, there has been a battle over the last year for a zoning change. They want to move their cheese operation and farm. They also milk their own cows. They have time for that too. They want to move it inside the city limits of Thorpe, right at the edge of town off of Highway 29, which is a very busy highway for people going north. The idea being that they'll turn this into agritourism, and they just cleared the last hurdle on Monday night so that they're going to be able to break ground soon and move into Thorpe, and that obviously is going to draw some economic development.
So what's next for her? I mean, they've won the zoning battle. She is now champion with her Nutty Gouda. What do you do after that?
She wants to make ice cream. She's like,
I knew you'd have an answer.
She's going to Holland next week, in fact, and she says, I'm going to learn how to make ice cream the way we make it in Holland. And she'll add that next fall when they open their new place in Thorpe.
There's no doubt in my mind that will be wonderful as well. Look forward to that.
I'm sure.
Karen Herzog, thank you. And you can read more about it at jsonline.com. We also have a link on our website, today's TMJ4.com. Coming up at 3:30, 4 people are dead after a shooting spree in upstate New York. What police know about the suspected gunman so far.
And up next, a new kind of gasoline could help save the earth and save you money. Why it's surrounded by controversy. But here's a look at what's on TV tonight. NBC Primetime starts at 6:30 with Wisconsin Tonight. Then it's Community at 7, Parks and Recreation at 7:30, The Office at 8, 1600 Penn at 8:30, and Law & Order SVU.
Then at 10, one serving up Mexican fare with a twist, and another brings a taste of Key West to Wisconsin. But both restaurants are keeping it clean in the kitchen. Courtny Gerrish hands out 2 Blue Ribbon Awards for clean dining. That's coming up on Live at 10.
Two-time champ Blake Shelton is welcoming Shakira and Usher and showing them how it's done.
I want to introduce you to Nashville.
Oh, he's going to play that card.
And I have won The Voice before. Go ahead.
The Voice 2-night premiere event starts March 25th here on NBC. 3 dream guys ready to commit. Get help searching for love from 3 top matchmakers.
No one is looking for that in the mother of their children.
In a new show that will change the way you think about romance. Ready for Love. Special premiere after The Voice, March 26th here on NBC.
I'm Lisa to shed new light on Bayview Shade and Blind. And if you'd like to add value to your home, handcrafted window treatments from our family to yours are sure to do it.
Bayview Shade and Blind.
If you're ready to get more from your TV service, now's a great time to get AT&T UVerse TV. Make the switch.
Call to get UVerse TV starting at $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Get the same great price for 2 years. Add HBO and Cinemax and get the first 3 months free.
With UVerse TV, you can record 4 shows at once with a total home DVR that lets you play back, pause, or rewind your shows from any room. And ask about next day installation at no extra charge.
Call to get UVerse TV starting at $19 a month with qualifying bundles. Get the same great price for 2 years. And get a $150 promotion card. Plus, get a total home DVR included for life.
And now, exclusively from AT&T, adding our wireless receiver lets you move your TV where you want around the house, even outside, so you're no longer tied to the TV outlet.
AT&T Uverse, TV like you've never seen before.
This is Dave from Feldco, out and about in Milwaukee, asking folks the question everybody wants to know. Where in the house do you want to get lucky?
In the kitchen.
The living room.
I'd like to get lucky in the bathroom.
In my office. In the kitchen.
Oh, the garage.
Right now, get lucky in any room of your home with Feldco. Save 40% on windows or get an instant labor rebate and more.
Feldco's Lucky Scratch and Save ends soon. Hurry. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
The car on the left was filled up with low detergent gasoline, while the car on the right was filled up with BP gasoline with Invigorate, which helps clean and protect its engine, so it can get a few more miles per tank than the car on the left.
Even a high-efficiency dishwasher can't remove spots from your glasses if you have hard water, but a Culligan high-efficiency water softener can. For this special offer, call and say, "Hey, Culligan Man."
More news now. Parents are placing less emphasis on math skills than reading skills for their kids. PBS has come up with a plan called It All Adds Up to provide parents with resources to help their kids with math homework. The new Play and Learn app is free and designed specifically for parents. Well, there's a new kind of gasoline being developed that might save the earth and save consumers money at the pump.
But there is a debate surrounding this E15 fuel. Gary Stryker explains.
Most gasoline in the U.S. contains 10% ethanol. Increased biofuel production has prompted the creation of E15, a blend of 15% ethanol and 85% gasoline that will soon be more widely available.
The statistical testing that occurred, 86 cars over 186,000 miles each, is the most rigorous test of a fuel, I think, in the history of the United States.
NASCAR drivers like Kurt Busch have promoted the efficiency of biofuels. The Environmental Protection Agency says E15 is safe for cars and light trucks 2001 and newer. It is not for motorcycles, buses, boats, or snowmobiles. The oil industry and some food groups, however, oppose the increased use of corn ethanol for fuel and warn of damage if E15 is used improperly.
The whole E15 debate is whether or not over time introducing the availability of that fuel widely to a widely disparate type of engine is going to have a corrosive and damaging effect on the engine itself.
NASCAR right now has run 2 or 3 million miles under some very extreme conditions and love the fuel. I really think there's no basis for that argument other than they're trying to scare the consumer out of buying a better product.
Gas stations will be required to post notices wherever E15 is sold so consumers can decide whether it's the right fuel for them. For NBC News, I'm Gary Stryker.
It is time to talk weather now.
Yeah. Talk or complain about
disparaging sighs from both of us up here.
Sneers, glare.
Yeah.
We're just sighing.
I know.
We'll leave it at sighing.
It's mid-March. I think we deserve at least a 40 degrees.
Oh,
45 something.
Almost 42, so I'd take 45. 50.
50.
And you know, St. Patty's Day, everyone, you know, when it's warm, it's good stuff, but not this year.
People are out.
Last couple St. Patty's Days.
Yeah, they've been nice.
I know.
But not so much. Okay.
Just get that right out of our heads.
No.
Let's get that out there right now. 30 degrees is the temperature right now. A year ago today, 78. We also don't want that, though, because if you recall last year, we were so warm for most of March that the trees were budding out. We lost a lot of the cherry crop, the apple crop as well. So there is negative, and the mosquitoes were already out. There's negatives to this, allergies. But come on, 30 degrees. February was snowy. March has been cold. Hopefully April is nice. It's going to be a little bit warmer tonight, relatively speaking. 34 by 7 o'clock, 30 and mostly cloudy by 10. The snow and the rain today just missed us by a few miles in Milwaukee and Waukesha. It's just to the west and to the south of us. But then flurries tomorrow morning as yet another storm system begins to roll in here. by tomorrow morning. And then we warm up, getting closer to normal. Normal's about 42. We'll be in the mid to upper 30s around most of the region, lower 40s to the south. And then we'll see rain showers throughout the afternoon. There could be some sleet accumulation during the daytime hours tomorrow, Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. And we'll see some light snow across the region for tomorrow night. We'll show you how much snow you can expect for tomorrow night, and then that cold winter weekend forecast. I said winter. I meant weekend.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. Yeah, that's right.
Coming up in a few.
Thanks, Brian. Well, coming up next, a controversial plan to allow small knives on planes.
Why the director of the TSA says he will not back down from his proposal.
All this snow will melt, eventually. And if we get more, one man will be there to help us through it all. John Milan and Storm Team 4.
At Pet World, we know your pets aren't just your best friends, they're family. So here's a family-friendly offer. Save $5 on select large bags of Pro Plan Shredded Blend dog food. Pet World Warehouse Outlet. All your pet needs. Stop in and say hi.
Hold on to me as we go.
It's time to pursue our dreams, to chase what we believe in. It's time to work, to give it our very all and not give up. American Family Insurance believes your dreams deserve the best protection. That's why we're committed to being there for you every step of the way.
I'm gonna make this place your home.
If you've been hurt in an accident, I want to offer you the PKSD guarantee. I'm Jeff Pittman of PKSD, and here's how it works. All phone calls and meetings are free. If we make no recovery for you, there is no fee. All phone calls are returned within the hour. It's our contract with you. Visit us at pksd.com or call 1-800-999-PKSD for the PKSD guarantee.
I'm Molly Faye from The Morning Blend. For dinner tonight, homemade fish tacos that look fancy, but they're easy. Go to centuryfoods.com for this tilapia tacos recipe. Pick up 6 fresh tilapia fillets from your local Century. Then spray a baking sheet with cooking spray. Next, open this. It's a bag of Kraft's Fresh Take Southwest 3-cheese recipe. It's a cheese breadcrumb mix. Pull it apart at the center seal and mix the contents together in the bag. Then moisten the fish with water and place in the bag. You'll lightly press the mixture onto both sides and then place the fillets on your baking sheet. Top them off with the remaining mixture. Bake the fish at 375 for 12 to 15 minutes or until the fish flakes easily with a fork. Cut them in half, place on tortillas, and then top with this. It's a mixture of 2 cups shredded purple cabbage and a ½ cup of pineapple salsa. Yum! And you can find this recipe and other great deals online at centuryfoods.com, and be sure to look for the What's for Dinner logo.
At Pet World, we know your pets aren't just your best friends, they're family. So feed them well and save $4 on 24-pound bags of puppy, adult, and large breed Blue Buffalo Freedom dog food. Pet World Warehouse Outlet. All your pet needs. Stop in and say hi.
More news now. Today is National Pie Day. No E here. It's celebrated every year on March 14th. That's 3-14 is in the first few digits of pi, the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter. I'm kind of hungry now.
Fun with math, yeah.
Picture of pizza. Most women want to keep up with the latest fashion and look attractive.
But as Holly Furfer reports, sometimes we have to tailor what we wear to ensure we stay healthy.
Sometimes our choice in fashion can be hazardous to our health. Let's take high heels.
If they start to get over 2 inches, you start to run into all kinds of foot problems, ranging from hammer toes to nerve damage and even problems in the leg.
So wear them in moderation. Many of us wear skinny jeans, but don't get them too tight.
You can start to see stomach-related problems such as bloating, indigestion, or heartburn, as well as nerve-related problems from nerves getting pinched and irritated, which would cause burning, numbness, some sensitivity changes in the thigh.
And what about what you wear under those jeans? If it's a thong, you're probably okay. That is, if you don't find them uncomfortable. What your underwear is made of is probably more important than the cut.
More delicate materials like silk or breathable cotton that doesn't trap in humidity.
Dangly earrings are popular, but if they're too heavy, they can elongate the hole in your ear. And if they get snagged on something, you can tear your earlobe. Wearing earrings that contain nickel gives some people a rash. As with all fashion items, wear them for a short period of time and just be smart. Looking good without damaging your health is what it's all about. For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Furfer.
And we have much more ahead for you in the next half hour.
Live at 3:30 starts now.
On your side from today's TMJ4.
This is Live at 3:30.
And right now on Live at 3:30, a man has been shot and killed after authorities say he went on a shooting rampage in upstate New York. The suspect's death followed a tense day and night long standoff in the small town of Herkimer.
And now 4 people are dead. Chris Clackham has the latest.
Around 8 Thursday morning in Herkimer, New York, SWAT team members with guns and dogs ready moved in on the abandoned building where 64-year-old Kurt Myers had barricaded himself. Moments later, there was a hail of gunfire.
He was in a very small room on the first floor, and it's possible that he was able to shield himself against the gas.
Myers fired on officers, missing them, but hitting and killing one of the dogs. He, too, was killed when police returned fire.
He first engaged firing shots through the door at the officers and then ultimately exchanged shots with the officers.
Myers is suspected of murdering 4 people and injuring 2 others in 2 separate shootings in neighboring towns in upstate New York Wednesday morning. Investigators say he started the shooting spree after setting fire to his apartment in Mohawk, then going to the town's barbershop and opening fire with a shotgun. 2 customers were killed, 2 others wounded. He then drove to Herkimer to an oil change garage, opening fire again, killing 2 more.
We heard the gunshots and we all sat there and ducked, and that's when the police just sat there and moved us all back.
After which he took refuge in the abandoned building and held police at bay for the next 23 hours. What triggered the violence remains a mystery. The only other encounter Myers ever had with law enforcement was a drunk driving charge 40 years ago. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Despite opposition from some airlines and airline workers, the head of the TSA continues to defend the decision to allow small knives on commercial airlines. John Pistoli says passenger knives pose little risk to airline security and said the new rule allows screeners to focus more on explosives, which pose a more catastrophic threat to commercial air travel. Earlier this week, the Transportation Security Administration announced that beginning April 25th, small pocket knives as well as some sporting knives will be allowed.
The challenge becomes if we focus on something that will not cause a catastrophic failure to an aircraft and miss something that could, then we haven't done our job to the millions of people, 12.5 million people who travel every week.
Today, Pistole testifies about airline safety before the House of Representatives Homeland Security Committee. The new rules are due to take effect at the end of April. And turning our attention to weather, let's take a live look at our tower cam in Port Washington. It looks nice out there. Not too bad today, but...
No, it's been milder than we've seen, but that's all headed south from what Brian Goddard's been talking about. So our little uptick is not sticking around.
Yeah.
No. We'll uptick another degree or 2 for tomorrow. And then we'll get colder for the weekend. How about that? It's been a cold March so far and kind of dreary as well. Started off sunny this morning, had the clouds throughout most of the afternoon as the flurries and light rain showers stayed just to the west of us. And now we're starting to see just a little bit more sunshine across southeastern Wisconsin as that precipitation moves down to the south of us. The river's still moving pretty swiftly after all that weekend rain. 30 degrees, about 12 degrees below normal. 30 degrees. That's a cold day. 34 in Milwaukee, also Racine, 30 in Lake Geneva, 30 in Beaver Dam. The winds are relatively light, between 5 and 12. That's keeping wind chills in the 20s. Oof, 78 a year ago today. That's also not normal, but you know what? That's what it's all about. There's rarely normal. It's the one extreme to the other. 34 degrees by 7 o'clock and partly cloudy, mostly cloudy by 10, a light breeze and 30 degrees. And by morning, yet another storm system rolling in. We'll see some flurries, then it will change over to rain throughout most of the day. But before the system's all said and done, we will see some snow out of this. I'll let you know how much coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Brian, thank you. A local man has his car damaged by a sinkhole.
Carol Meekins is in the newsroom with a story that's new on Live at 5.
Thank you very much, Annie and Courtney. The city is calling this a simple pothole, but is that what this looks like to you? Tonight, the young man who says his car was damaged and tells us why he thinks the city needs to do more than just patch this hole up. Much more coming up new on Live at 5. Annie, Courtney, back to both of you.
All right, Carol, thanks. Well, what's hot is next.
First, actress Michelle Williams dresses like a Native American in her latest photo shoot. A lot of people call this offensive. Is it?
Plus, a new tablet for women. Why a lot of people are saying it's the most sexist piece of technology you can buy.
When news breaks, today's TMJ4 is on your side. If you see news happen, call the Today's TMJ4 tip line. Brought to you by Time Warner Cable's Lifestyle Channel. Wisconsin On Demand 411.
Give us your dings, dents, sorrow, and shame, and we'll get your car back in tip-top shape. So don't go getting bent out of shape, because Mako's Collision Repair is up to 33% less compared to other body shops. Mako, America's #1 paint and body shop.
Somebody went to Wisconsin Dells. After you vacation in the water park capital of the world, you'll never look at water the same way again. Go to wisdells.com and get your free vacation guide.
Just keep shoveling. The Rosen Automotive family. Great cars, great people. Now at Rosen Nissan, the total package is wow. 2013 Nissan Sentra, $149 a month. 2013 Ultima, $199 a month, and no down payment. Rosen, the automotive family you've been looking for, where great cars and great people come together.
Rosen, 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 Rosen.
Things are heating up at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. It's the Red Hot Home Sale with the hottest prices around. Now, when you visit Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries and donate $20 or more to Ronald McDonald House Charities, you save 20% store-wide. Great-looking sofas, sectionals, chairs, and more. Get genuine Lazy Boy comfort and give comfort when it's needed most. Shop the Red Hot Home Sale. It's furniture you'll feel good about in more ways than one. Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
Shop the Spring Steals and Deals event at Camping World of Chicago, now through March 30th.
Browse RVs from the nation's top manufacturers.
New travel trailers for only $99.95, or motorhomes starting at $399 a month. Buy an RV from us and gain access to our Good Sam Elite loyalty program.
Offering incentives for RVers valued at over $2,000.
Don't miss the Spring Steals and Deals event at Camping World of Chicago, now through March 30th.
We have everything you'll ever need at Camping World.
I'd love to own you, but my allergies wouldn't let me put your top down.
The power of Allegra. It relieves your toughest symptoms on the toughest pollen days. Only Allegra is both fast and non-drowsy.
Goodbye, symptoms. Hello, Dream Machine.
Allegra. Stop suffering. Start living.
Storm Team 4 is taking a field trip to the field. Join today's TMJ4 and the Milwaukee Brewers for Weather Day at Miller Park, Thursday, April 18th. Visit TMJ4.com for details.
And now it's time for What's Hot, where we talk about the stories that have us all talking.
We are joined today by Katie Klein from Boelter and Lincoln, and Tracy Johnson is back with us. Actress Michelle Williams.
Awesome.
Now more of What's Hot.
Again, we're joined by Katie Klein from Boelter and Lincoln and Tracy Johnson from Tempo Milwaukee. Topic number 2. Facebook's COO has written a self-described manifesto for her proposed women's revolution. She points out that women hold only 4% of top government posts worldwide and 14% of top corporate jobs. She says that an equal world would be one where women run half our countries and men run half our homes. Do you agree with that statement?
Yes, that's equal, right? I don't think Sheryl Sandberg ever said that it's going to happen tomorrow. I don't think she's saying that it needs to happen in the next 5 years. I mean, look at the facts, ladies. We have been in positions of power, CEOs, vice presidents, for only the last 50 or so years. Men have a huge jump start on us, and I think Sheryl Sandberg's message is about, in her book, Lean In, she's talking about ask for that promotion, ask to lead, ask for those positions, because it will come. And yes, equality means that women run half of the corporations and half of the government.
So she is essentially empowering women to push these things forward, but like you said, it's going to take time.
It does.
Attitudes have shifted quite a bit, and if you look at, most a lot of women work now, whereas before that just wasn't the case. So I would say that we are trending that direction.
Absolutely, and I don't think you'd find a woman out there who would want to ascend in her position based on a mandate. I mean, it's all about merit. And I think her message, I think there are lots of people who are parsing and pulling apart her message, but it's really one of empowerment. And it's really one that's really specifically talking to women in leadership who want to ascend into those positions.
Well, and this is also coming from a female leader. I mean, she's the COO herself. So, I mean, I think there's also a weight to that, too, since she has made it. But she is one of the few women who have.
Right, and you know, she's a little bit better off than some women. I hate to say it, but it's true. But I like her vision. I hope to be able to, you know, take part in that someday. But it, like you ladies say, it's going to take a lot of time.
Okay, topic 3. Imagine that, another female topic.
4 women
Some
today.
women are angry about the new tablet for women. The ePad Femme comes preloaded. Look, it's a pretty pink with apps concerning yoga, grocery shopping, and cooking. And then again, the pink background. Katie Klein. Is it sexist? Go.
It chaps me something raw. You have to understand that this piece of technology was developed for women, specifically in the Middle East of our world, obviously, which is really kind of odd because they are some of the most technologically sound women in the entire world. They know what they're doing. They don't need to have a sexist piece of technology catered to them. They have the ability to choose the technology that they want to use, just like every other woman in the world. And to serve them some like feminine type of device that has cooking and cleaning and yoga, disgusting.
Well, I mean, and women are showing that they don't really want this, right? They've sold something like 7,000. I think they've really missed the mark. But when you think about some of this niche marketing, you look at some of these tablets that might be developed for children or might have other niches. I think that they could work, but this absolutely, and they need to change the name. It sounds like a hygiene product.
It lost me at the name right off the bat.
That and it looks so simple. Like, here, let me help you navigate this.
It looks oversimplified. Like, how big can we make it for you to understand? It just looks demeaning, and I can't stand it, and I don't want to look at it ever.
Do you think you could download like a monster truck app on it, or are you totally blocked?
I bet you they would block that.
There's some kind of alert that goes out.
Take a look at this screen, folks. We're not fans of the bad femme.
No. I like boy things. Sorry.
Thanks, ladies.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.